Deployment is a very important part of any software development phase. Deployment means once a software is developed, how to deploy this, how to install it on some user location. So similarly, cloud deployment means that we have developed a cloud for some specific purposes. Now we want to install that cloud on some location so that it can be used by its users. So whenever we talk about cloud deployment, we have to look at different characteristics. Those characteristics are that what are the stakeholders of a particular cloud? Stakeholders are basically users or peoples involved in some specific cloud. Then who is the owner of this infrastructure? Why we need this information? Because if we want to change or maintain, delete, insert, update some information, then there should be some owner of that particular application. Who are the users of cloud service? Which people or who will be using a cloud service for performing their different tasks? And then finally, what would be the location of a cloud infrastructure? Where this cloud will be put for working and for its deployment type things. So based on these different characteristics, what we define that there are three major criteria or categories of cloud deployment. What are those three categories? Number one is public cloud, then private cloud, and then community clouds. So what are these clouds? आइए इन clouds को देखते हैं. Number one is public cloud. This public cloud, as the name suggests, it is provisioned or supplied for common public. जो हमारे common लोग हैं वो इससे communicate कर सकते हैं. For example, if we take an example of Google search engine, it is open to public. कि public में से कोई भी इस service को use कर सकता है for any sort of task. So, but the thing is, who will be the owner of this cloud? Owner will be some specific community, such as Google itself is the owner of this cloud. Then it will be owned, managed and operated by a business, academic or government organization. For example, in specific case of Google, it is owned by some private organization. Then we have some combination of them. Combination means that some clouds will be organized by a government or private partner or business partner. And then what would be the location? Location for public clouds, it is most of the times it is on the location of its owner. कि जहाँ पर owner मौजूद है वहाँ पर ही public cloud deploy किया जाता है. Second one is our private cloud. Private cloud, as the name suggests, it is an exclusive type thing. Exclusive means that it will be owned by some specific person, business party, government or some business unit. So once this is private, so what would be the owner or what would be managed? It would be owned, managed and operated by some organization, some third party or some combination of these two things. And most of the times it can be on the campus or off the campus of its owners. Example of private cloud, we can take different examples such as clouds made for some specific places, such as we can say that we have a defense cloud in which we are sharing information about defense type materials. Then community cloud. Community, what is the meaning of community? Community is basically people with same interests. So community cloud will be a cloud which is made by people which are having similar interest in some specific things. For example, Facebook is a cloud which is basically a social networking cloud in which people who want to share their information on social network media, they are part of this cloud. Again, it can be managed by some organization in a community or by some third party, and most of the time it is exist on either on campus or off premises of the owner of the cloud. Then we have hybrid cloud. This hybrid cloud is basically combination of the previous any of the previous three clouds, which were public, private or community clouds. So if we take combination of any of these three clouds, this becomes a hybrid cloud. So whenever we talk about hybrid thing, we want to take advantage of the good things from the previous approaches. What are the other characteristics? Unique identity of individual cloud appliers will remain the same. For example, if we make a cloud of a public and private cloud, so we can that is a hybrid cloud, we can differentiate which part is from public and which part is from private. Then there should be standardization and proprietary technology, that who will be the owner of this thing, and if we have merged these things together, will it be according to the standard information again. So data and application portability, that we have a cloud busting mechanism for load balancing between clouds. So load balancing means that information is being shared across different clouds, and this sharing is at some legal documentation wise. For bioinformatics cloud, what would be the best application, or what would be the best mechanism or architecture for a bioinformatics cloud? So it can be delivered at certain levels. For example, when we are collecting data from some patients or from some database, we can have a private cloud. In private cloud, we can make data from different hospitals or different institutes, and that data is being shared at some private cloud. Then what will be the use of public cloud? Public cloud can be used when we want to provide our stored data to users of our cloud. So that should be public, that every can access our data and should get data from according to his needs. Community clouds. So community cloud means that if we have some people who have common issues, common concerns, or common choices, then we should use community cloud for our biological data. For example, we can make community clouds for DNA data, RNA data, or protein sequences data. So different community clouds for different type of data, and then these data can be shared or can be captured for different community type things.